Hey everyone, I'm Jack Fossett, and this is the LPD Pedals 74. This is another great amp-in-a-box type pedal from LPD Pedals, and this one goes for the sound of two different Marshall amps that came out of the year 1974, which would be a late Plexi or an early Master Volume JMP. Now, the JMP is an amp that I actually think is somewhat underrated when you talk about classic Marshalls. I say somewhat because it is a classic Marshall. It does get a fair amount of love, but when a lot of people talk about Marshalls and they talk about the holy grails of Marshalls, let's say, the Plexi is certainly up there. People will talk about the Blues Breakers, and then there tends to be a jump, and a lot of people will jump right from there up to the JCM 800 and beyond, which is a much different tone. The JMP really bridged that gap. It had a little bit more of that sweet saturation, not quite as much of the classic edginess of the Plexi. It could get a little bit more modern, but without getting into the crazy high gain territory. I really like JMPs. I think that they're a great Marshall. In fact, if I could own one classic Marshall, the JMP might be it. And part of that is because it can cover the classic tones too. It can kind of get that Plexi tone in its own way, but then also sort of like it gives it a little bit more. It's almost like a turbo Plexi in a way. Really, really great tone. Now, I've been really impressed with LPD pedals, and the 68 is a great pedal. That one's based much more on the older version. This one I like a lot. It really drives it hard, and it really captures that vibe. It gets a nice tone. I even like that it's the black and the gold. It kind of has the right styling. Still has that nice sleek LPD modern look, which I like a lot. Now you have level, presence, gain, and then you have a 3-band EQ, high, mid, and low. And as you've just heard, they really do a lot. They are good for tone shaping. It keeps that classic Marshall character, but you can also sculpt with it to a certain degree. You can, especially with the mids, when you push the mids, it really adds that nice warmth without getting boxy. When you pull the mids, it makes it sound like that more aggressive, rhythmic, kind of chunky tone. Just a great pedal. Now, this is a sponsored demo, but my opinion's not paid for. This is my honest opinion. These are great pedals. They work really well, and they really capture the vibe that they are described as. This really gives the feeling of a 1970s Marshall. The 68 really gives the feeling of a classic Marshall. And this is one of those pedals that you can integrate into a rig nicely too. So for today, I'm plugging into a Franklin Amps Tweed 5E3, and when you click this on, it makes you feel like you've got a Marshall rig going, but not in a way that blankets your tone or doesn't integrate well with your tone. It just feels like it works. It feels like it meshes well, and it sits in well, and just gives you another tone in your palette that you can work with, and in a way that feels very natural. Great pedal. So you've just heard it with a Gibson SG loaded with Lust for Tone 59 Lustbuckers. Next we are going to listen to it with a Fender Telecaster loaded with a unique set of single tone pickups, which I'm going to talk about in a video coming up, so that you can hear it with both humbuckers and single coils. Let us know what you think. Are you an LPD pedal player? Have you used the 74? Have you used the others? Please let us know in the comments. I'm Jack Fossett. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the video.